Welcome to Silicon Valley, the techie capital of the world, home to some of the biggest names in technology and entrepreneurship, where entrepreneurs dream big and startups start from the ground up. Known as the Mecca of technology and entrepreneurship, Silicon Valley attracts the best and brightest names to the Bay Area. It is no wonder that Silicon Valley is the birthplace of Thai Indus entrepreneurs.
Get your product, sell your product.
At TiEcon, Citrix acquired Zenprise for $365 million.
Send your daughters or your sons where they will learn everything about entrepreneurship.
Think in terms of delighting your customers.
Chris Anderson, Bharat Desai, Ronnie Screwala, Manoj Bhargava will be delivering grand keynotes at TiEcon.
Dream big and let the future of boundless opportunities unfold.
TiEcon is one of Thai's premier events. Times Now takes you behind the scenes to the making of TiEcon 2013. Join me and find out what's going on at the conference and how the people at Thai make it all happen.
Thai got started in 1992 when a group of entrepreneurs, very successful individuals, who came together to receive a visiting delegation from India. So happened that the flight was delayed and these folks were sitting together over lunch, and the discussion evolved such that they decided to schedule a monthly lunch so as to get to know each other better. And that is what really got the whole concept of Thai started. In the early days when Thai was being set up here in Silicon Valley, it was simply to serve the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the valley, foster entrepreneurship through mentoring, guidance, advice, events, and activities. At that time, there was no vision or discussion about going global. But as Silicon Valley is the center of innovation, we have lots of visitors that come here, mostly in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, that began to witness what Thai was doing here and felt it was very appropriate for the towns and cities they came from, and requested us to support them in building a Thai chapter in their local city. That is what really got us started and thinking about going global. Thai helps entrepreneurs through a variety of ways. First and foremost, the core of Thai is where our charter members engage in a one-to-one mentoring session with a budding entrepreneur. That advice is considered invaluable, and we get dozens of requests. Certainly at TiEcon, we will have over 200 mentoring sessions that are scheduled, where a very accomplished charter member of Thai will provide advice and guidance to an aspiring entrepreneur in whatever field that they are wishing to pursue. And that really is what attracts entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs to come to programs of Thai.
Thai's mission is really promotion of wealth creation through entrepreneurship. That mission has not changed in 20 years, and that mission is so powerful and such universal appeal that it's now all over the world. When we started, Thai's main purpose was to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. It was to educate them about how to go about becoming an entrepreneur. And that was the thrust of it, because especially the people of South Asian origin here didn't have that network and didn't have that kind of prior experience. So that was the thrust in the initial years. Over time, what has happened is that the Silicon Valley has changed. The world of entrepreneurship has changed. The way companies get formed, the way they get funded, the way they grow has changed dramatically. So along with that, the core mission has not changed, but how we achieve that mission, needed some adjustment, needed some reinvention, and that's the process that Thai is going through right now. Entrepreneurs need help at every stage of their entrepreneurial journey. First is to get inspired, and second one is to hone in on the idea that they want to focus on to be an entrepreneur. And then it comes to see some kind of seed funding so they can get started. At some stage, they are successful enough, they have grown the team enough, they need more money. So then they need bigger amounts of funding, but also they need someone to handhold them or to guide them through how this is done so that they don't have to learn by making mistakes themselves. And finally, they have to get access to the customers. So TiE essentially now is refocusing on adding value to entrepreneur at every stage, from giving ideas and educating about it, inspiring them, giving them seed funding, as well as providing active hands-on mentoring, and then helping them find venture funding, and once they're at that stage, then help them find customers. Boundless opportunity. This is really a remarkable time right now, where so many things, so many technologies are changing at the same time. That's creating incredible opportunities for entrepreneurs, and that's the theme. So on Friday, we are focusing on 3 areas of fastest growth.
TiE has grown in an amazing way. I mean, we had no idea 20 years ago when we started this wonderful institution that this will come out to be where it is today. So it's just been amazing journey. The wonderful thing about TiEcon is that every year we set a new standard. We want to beat our previous standard. So this is the challenge that all the volunteers take on, and which is very good. And what I'm seeing now is so heartening that the TiEcon, the way it's evolving, with very new creative programming, a lot of new speakers, great ideas, and great new set of volunteers. Okay, we have some continuing, but we have a lot of new people who have come together, and they're just doing an amazing job putting this conference together. So so for me, it's a sheer delight. Just stepping back and watching this wonderful thing just develop, and yet set another record for us.
My TiE journey goes back to 15 years. I started as a volunteer, like most of us are over here, and I've seen this organization grow by leaps and bounds. I still recall fondly the late 90s when we used to meet in banquet halls of various hotels around the Silicon Valley area. And every time we met, every month we met, we figured this was too small for us, and we went to a bigger room, and we went to a bigger room. And here we are in our own 25,000 square foot home, and we host so many events, almost 40, 50 events in a year. And we have grown in sheer size. We have over 14,000 members. We have over 3,000 charter members worldwide. We have a tremendous ecosystem over here of movers and shakers, and we have seen this grow with every passing day. And with TiEcon, we have been just absolutely, amazing experience for us. We have had the who's who come and speak at our conference, whether it's whether it's Steve Ballmer from Microsoft, or Peter Thiel, or Jeff Weiner this year, or Carly Fiorina, or Meg Whitman. The captains of the industry seek out opportunities to come and speak at TiEcon. We've grown tremendously as an organization over the time that I have been associated with it. I liked it so much that I now work for TiE.
So TiEcon is always about the entrepreneur, and this year is no different. However, we have changed certain things to make it better for not only entrepreneurs but also for intrapreneurs. So the first day we focus on an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur who wants to understand opportunities in the area of big data, mobility, or software-defined networks as they are changing, as the whole networking industry is changing. So the idea really is, if you are in one of these industries or want to look for an opportunity in these industries, you spend a day with us, and by the end of it, you will know everything that matters in this industry. You will know what startups are doing in this area. You will know what the big companies are thinking in this area. You will understand what the investors want to invest in. So the idea is, this is one full day of understanding everything that matters in big data, mobility, or software-defined networks. The second day, on the other hand, is focused on entrepreneurship. So we have a one full day track on entrepreneur how-tos. Every entrepreneur needs help on figuring it out. Are they ready to start a company? What does it take to start a company? How do I raise money? How do I market my products? How do I build my team? All of those things are covered in one day. We call it a boot camp for an entrepreneur. Just in one day, you can learn everything that you need to know to get started. And then in addition to that, we have a parallel track on Thai Youth and Thai Women's Forum. And then the third parallel track is addressing global entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, and what is happening in the professional services industry as well.
Women actually often assume that Silicon Valley conferences are predominantly focused around men. And that's not a purposeful thought, that's not a stereotyping activity, it's just a natural inclination.
The foremost and most widely known event that TiE hosts is TiEcon. It is the largest professional and networking conference for entrepreneurs. TiE also hosts a wide range of programs, events catering to various industry verticals, educational events hosted by the Institute, TiE Young Entrepreneurs Program to foster entrepreneurship in our youth, and the Women's Forum for empowering women entrepreneurs.
Women actually often assume that Silicon Valley conferences are predominantly focused around men. And that's not a purposeful thought, that's not a stereotyping activity, it's just a natural inclination because if you look at the workforce, majority of the workforce in technology or professionals had always been predominantly men. And now that's changing. We're, of course, equalizing the differences in terms of roles and responsibilities and type of jobs. But having said that, women really should come to conferences like TiEcon. It's an opportunity to network. It's an opportunity to get insights, the know-how, the best practices, especially networking. Now, that we can say about men as well. The difference is that women might need that slightly differently. Now, when I say that, my intention is not to stereotype women, but each woman is different. However, we have seen some things that are similar. Women often aren't great at requesting help. They're not really great at promoting themselves. And they're not very comfortable asking for a job, getting a job, or anything related to that matter. So that's when I say that they need the same information and the same type of help, but slightly differently. And TiEcon is a great opportunity to attend and hear those insights and be inspired and meet those other successful entrepreneurs, men and women, because the forum is designed to be able to have those questions and answers. That weekend, Saturday, we're going to have a full day of panel discussions with amazing women. Either they are leaders themselves, or they're entrepreneurs, they're in technology or non-technology industries, and are actually changing the corporation or the culture from within. So they're not necessarily being intrapreneurs or entrepreneurs. The point is, how do you influence? How do you create change? How do you become successful? They'll get the insights, the tips, the connections, the support, all at the conference.
The keynotes and sessions at TiEcon are a hotbed of discussions around the latest trends where VCs are looking to invest and ideas that were recently a big success.
There are going to be over 150 speakers at TiEcon, and there are about 19 keynotes, and they are from the names that all of us know. CEO of LinkedIn, president of Microsoft's business unit, the ex-editor of Wired magazine, who is now the CEO of 3D robotics company. And then on Saturday, you will have some amazing speakers. Two of the Forbes billionaires, who are all self-made billionaires. Bharat Desai from Sintel, CEO of 5 Hour Energy, Manoj Bhargav, as well as, who doesn't know UTV Entertainment? If you ever watch a Bollywood movie, you know Ronnie Screwvala, who founded UTV Entertainment, now UTV Disney. And then there are other amazing speakers at the conference.
The strategy for any corporation, if you're in the tech industry, is how do you expand your ecosystem in such a way that you get access to the best developers in the world, the best minds in the world, the ones who are creating all this innovative technology. Because if you are an enterprise application provider, or if you're a platform provider, or if you're in the mobile business or in big data or SDI, you need to be aware of what is going on in the market. The competition is coming at you from different parts of the world. And that kind of access to those bright minds through the TiE network is just absolutely immeasurable. And as a strategic planner within a large corporation, I would want to go and grab those minds. I would want to go and be part of that ecosystem where I get to project my story and get the best minds in the world to work on my technology. For instance, if you take what's going on with SAP HANA, they want the best of minds to work on their development, on their platform. And why do they get associated with TiE? Because they get access to that type of mind pool, they get access to that kind of talent pool, and that makes it strategically important for them to be associated with us.
Big data gets talked about a lot, and it seems like it's the topic du jour. It's a hype out there about big data. But there's reality to it. From the days that it was just a pure concept and a hype, we're coming to the reality where companies are adopting big data in their operations, in improving their profitability, and in improving the lives of people around in general. Take, for example, the study that IBM did recently about big data adoption around the world. And out of more than 1,100 respondents from 95 different countries, what we found was that many of the clients are actually exploring, adopting, and very few have actually implemented big data. But what the crux of this is that big data impacts almost every one of us, whether it is personalized shopping, whether it is a recommendation on Netflix, or whether it is recommendation on Amazon. Big data is at play. And in fact, big data is also leveraged for improving lives of people, of citizens, in the government, and in healthcare as well. And we'll have a panel about that at TiEcon 2013. TiE is an interesting organization which supports entrepreneurs, right, whether you are a two-person garage-based startup, or whether you are a company looking for funding, Series A funding or Series B funding. At the same time, it's an organization which helps connect entrepreneurs with the sources of funding and also connects people together. So in the area of big data, actually, there's been a lot of innovation happening in the Valley and around, and TiE has been supporting programs for entrepreneurship, and also there's an organization within TiE called TiE Angels, which funds startups who are looking for funding, and on a monthly basis, they screen companies. So any entrepreneurs out there listening to this, make sure you are ready with your elevator pitch when you come to TiEcon 2013.
TiE has been a big supporter of entrepreneurs in general. And then this year, we've decided to focus on 3 tracks, which are particularly important as developments in the technology world, and then specifically, of course, in Silicon Valley. One of them is big data. We're bringing together many experts from different fields, all focusing on big data and many different aspects of big data. Really excited about the program this year at TiEcon for big data. We have some fabulous companies that are presenting. For example, from the startup world and the small end, Tengen, we have Hortonworks, we have Numenta, which is another wonderful company. We have a terrific set of companies focused on data visualization. Then on the larger end, we have SAP, we have Intel, and a whole number of larger organizations that are also doing very innovative work on big data. Big data is just an evolution of something that we've had for years. So we've always had data for years. But the big change now is that the amount of data that companies have, and frankly even individuals have, has grown exponentially. So much so that traditional techniques for mining this data and getting insights are not applied anymore. They're not as useful anymore. So there's a whole new category of techniques that have emerged to gain new insights and new behaviors that you can discern from this data. And that field is called big data. It is brand new, it's exciting, there's tons of startup opportunities, and you should come to TiEcon to listen to these.
TiE Youth Forum is a track within TiEcon, and the idea with TiE Youth is that we are promoting entrepreneurship to high school and college age kids. How to think about the idea, how to grow it from there, how to think about execution, everything that encompasses is all part of what we're helping them understand through the various speakers and panels at TiE Youth. Bay Area has a very strong startup culture, and as young teenagers, high school kids, college-age kids, when they basically see all of that going around them, they're thinking, do I want to actually get that first job out of high school, out of college, and pay my dues and get to a point in my career which is really exciting, or do I want to create that idea that I have and grow that into a business very, very quickly? And so with that startup culture, as a byproduct of that, you have a lot of teenagers and the youth looking at starting their own companies. And the idea with Thai Youth is we want to help our Thai community as well as other community folks within the Bay Area, younger kids looking at their own businesses. So if you look at some of our speakers, we have a keynote speaker, Ashish Thakur, who is a very, very young sort of African first billionaire who's going to be speaking about opportunities for entrepreneurship for youth in Africa. Our youngest speaker this year is a 13-year-old founder from a gaming company based in Ireland, where he is so young that his parents actually have to sign the paperwork for him to start that company, which is going to be very exciting. And then separately, we also have a Thai youth movements panel, which is all based around this idea that as opposed to starting a startup, how can you actually start a movement around your startup? So it has the co-creator of Twitter as a speaker. It has a wonderful lady who is the founder of Goldie Blocks, which is the first engineering-focused toy for women, and a number of really wonderful speakers we have lined up this year. So the idea is, if you are a young person, have ever thought about starting your own business, come to Thai Youth. We'll help you meet others who are like-minded, meet others who've done it before and been successful, whose success stories you can learn from.
Entrepreneurs get to meet with leading luminaries and successful entrepreneurs in a small setting. So imagine all the questions you have as an entrepreneur, and you'd be able to ask these successful people in a small setting, just sitting around a table.
Located right across the street from the Santa Clara Convention Center, people in the Thai organization are working day and night to make it happen. Let's see all of the excitement.
Year after year, I've been volunteering for more than 20 years. Many volunteers I've seen, they are repeat volunteers. This event is a huge event for entrepreneurship. This event brings a lot of networking. Most of the volunteers, they come back because they are, first of all, they're very dedicated volunteers. They want to give their time to this nice cause. The volunteers also, they come back for networking. They see their friends, probably long lost friends. They come here once a year. They come and they see them, and they really enjoy. So I think volunteers, they really are dedicated. They come here year after year. Well, TiEcon has been voted among the 10 best conferences in the world when it comes to ideas and entrepreneurship. So, but the beauty of TiEcon, I think, and that's really the key, this conference is entirely produced by volunteers. These are the people who are highly accomplished entrepreneurs, highly accomplished executives. They have their day job, they're running their businesses, they got their professional careers, and they're doing well. And yet they come together and they spend wee hours in the night, early hours in the morning, and whatever time they can find, over the weekends and during their work time. And they just devote to Thai and to Making of TiEcon. So I think that is really so unique about TiEcon that I don't know of any other organization where the volunteers, they do that purely as the labor of their love for this organization. And I think that is one thing that we really had to be proud of. And if I have to just say one thing, TiEcon, or Thai for that matter, is volunteerism at its best. The process of TiEcon planning actually begins in the fall, of the previous year. So, but it is actually a 6-month work of very serious work. So initially, just like any business, TiEcon is like we create a business, we raise capital, we recruit team, and we design our themes, we design the sessions, panels. This all takes like 6 months. But we start with a handful of people, which basically the leadership team, which is the TiE board and the TiE president get, and executive director, they get involved, and they started, bantering around ideas and socializing, visiting. And because we already have a foundation, so we don't start afresh. However, we do look for new ideas. Okay, what's new, what's different, what's exciting for the next year. So that process begins like 6 months. So start with a handful of people, like less than a dozen people, and then when it fully, gets, in a full bloom, the day of the conference, okay, you will see more than 200, 300 almost volunteers who are now involved in producing it. Okay, and thousands of hours, get spent in planning this organization. Thousands and thousands of emails get sent. The posts on Facebook and Twitter and social media. I mean, these, when you look at all the stuff, okay, there's millions of impressions and comments that get generated, about the making of TiEcon, and not making means the conceiving, the designing, producing, and actually delivering the day of the conference. But the day of the conference, that's when you can see. I mean, everything just comes together, and it's such a great feeling. Every year there is a TiEcon. So one of the challenges that the team always faces is we got to make sure that the conference had 3 major components to it. That means it had to be relevant, it had to be forward-looking, and it had to be inspiring. Because the reason it had to be relevant, because there is always the next conference. So we always focus on, okay, so what's relevant for this year? So this year the theme that you saw, the relevancy is the opportunities are boundless, and there is no end to what anyone can do. But the other relevancy factor came, okay, so what sectors are the hottest sectors where people really are going to be starting companies or looking for opportunities? So that took a little while to focus on the relevancy part, okay? And the relevant factors sessions are now around mobility, around the big data, around the software-defined infrastructure, and also our core staple, for TiEcon, which is all about entrepreneurship. So we had to make sure that we have defined the relevancy in a very sharp term. It had to be inspiring because, when people come, 3,000 people are here in the audience, okay, so, they spend 2 whole days, but they come away feeling good. So something had to be very inspirational, get them thinking, get them in the right mood to start a business, to think about striking out on their own. So we make sure that we get powerful, motivational keynote speakers, people who have been there and done that, who are, like their own types, okay? So we make sure that we get those inspirational keynotes recruited. That always is a challenge. And the third aspect is it had to be forward-looking, because end of the day, after the conference is over, we basically are selling hope. We are delivering people hope, because it's all about the future. They are going to go and they're going to say, okay, all right, I'm going to strike out and I'm going to start a company, or I have a company now, I figured out how to find my next best customer, or I have the company, now I can find out how to get it properly funded, or now I have a company, I need some counseling, some advice, so I can find those people. So these are the elements that we always look at, and that's the forward-looking part of it. So relevant, inspirational, and forward-looking. So we have to weave that thing together, and because, as I mentioned in the outset, since there is a conference every year, so we got to make sure that we keep this thing, very crisp, so that it is different from the previous year, and yet it is, hope for the future.
We can look for this year is really a number of exciting tracks. What we have done this year in TiEcon is we have created a new format and structure with Friday being focused on 3 market trends: big data, mobile, and software-defined infrastructure. So these are the major trends which are going on in the market right now, with a lot of new technologies, new innovations which entrepreneurs are involved with. Then on Saturday, we have full track of for entrepreneurs, which includes right from funding, as well as how do you get your products to the market, as well as the challenges an entrepreneur faces, including, we have panels on your go-to-market sales strategies, and then we have other tracks on global innovation, as well as TiE Women's Forum, focusing on highly successful women entrepreneurs talking about their experiences as well as a number of inspiring fireside chats, panels for all the attendees to learn from. There are a few other tracks. One is Thai Youth, which we started last year and has been very successful. In fact, this year again, the Thai Youth consists of even speakers. One of the keynote speakers is a very young, self-made entrepreneur, Ashish Thakur, who will be speaking there. And then our co-chair, Sana Chaudhary and Saurav Tandon have done a great job of creating a lot of good, exciting fireside chat and panels. Then one more new track we have also created this year. Especially we have a number of entrepreneurs of South Asian origin who are involved with professional services. So we have a track for trends in professional services industry with a couple of fireside chats, exciting chats, fireside chats, having Sanjay Dhawan, President and CEO of Symphony Telica, one of high growth mobile services company here with one of highly well-known industry analyst in the wireless sector called Rajiv Chand, doing a fireside chat with him, and plus a very exciting panel as well.
It's a fund that was created by the two governments in 2009 to promote commercial adaptation, commercial adoption of innovative technology for social benefit in both countries. It's about a $30 million fund all in, of which the endowment uses about $2 or $3 million a year to provide grants to entrepreneurs and innovators for promising technologies. India Science and Technology Fund was established in 2009. Its purpose is to promote commercial adoption of promising innovative technologies. It's about a $30 million fund, of which we use $2 to $3 million a year to promote technologies that U.S. and Indian innovators think could have social impact. Trying to develop the ecosystem in which these innovations can flourish is a difficult business, and a partnership with an organization like TiE that has global reach, that has the ability to work with us is critical to that broader adoption of these technologies.
This fund was jointly created by the two governments in order to promote technologies and innovations which are relevant for the social needs. And this fund actually targets innovations either in India or in US, but there must be partners. There must be a partnership between the two entities to get a grant from the endowment fund. This endowment has funded very relevant projects for the social needs in the two countries. Let me give you one or two examples. The one project which we have funded is about financial inclusion. This actually enables the semi-literate people or the number literate people in India to actually use their cell phones as a banking device. Now, the local shopkeepers get converted as banking branches. These people easily access them, and part of this technology, which is the Know Your Customer KYC technology, was actually developed in US and has been now tried and tested with more than 100,000 people in India. See, what happens is for any government, it's important that they engage with right stakeholders who know the tricks of doing business. The government obviously does not know how to do business. An institution like TiE is important because they have done it, they have seen it, and they are now ready to mentor. And what is a better place than Silicon Valley to have that kind of a partnership? So what we have done is that we have partnered with an institution like TiE, not only here in the Silicon Valley, but TiE has local chapters even in India. And we have a very regular interaction with the TiE as mentors, as somebody who holds the hand of these fledgling enterprises in the beginning, and this partnership is going great.
Both United States and India have collaborated on a number of science and technology issues over the years, starting from space, starting from atmospheric studies, ocean studies, healthcare. We have NIH and CDC presence in India that also work in science and technology affairs. We have AID, a USAID presence in India as well, working on a number of issues. Water management is another area where we collaborate. Clean energy and renewable energy is another area where we collaborate. We have a number of initiatives of that nature. We are going to design in the next month or so, but the idea perhaps we would focus on specific areas for innovation and entrepreneurship, probably in the water and sanitation area as well as climate change area. United States and India Science and Technology Endowment Board is completing its evaluations of business plans for the awards that it will grant for the applicants during our third call now. And now what we are doing is getting together the expert panels together to evaluate the proposals. There are about 19 proposals altogether, and we are analyzing those for our grants. We try and focus for our current rounds in the healthcare area as well as empowering citizens area. And so in the healthcare area, we have any number of proposals ranging from water, again, filtration technologies, arsenic mitigation technologies, to our empowering citizenship applications regarding different types of filtration systems, again, in both areas. The idea for the endowment board is to encourage entrepreneurship between the two countries. So we basically have jointly developed technology applications from both the United States and India, work together to create the solutions, and we really like to encourage the entrepreneurship and the innovation related to that. The amount of interest that we have in the endowment board is dramatically increasing. The board actually started in 2009. So over the past 3 to 4 years, we have seen a number of proposals, number of joint venture abilities and collaboration related to the different products. And so we see tremendous amount of interest being generated, and we really encourage wider and broader participation in the process.
Over the years, as you have heard from other people, we keep coming every year as volunteers and working so hard to make this a huge conference. The question is, why do we come back every year? What's the passion? I think if you look back to different organizations who have lasted as long as TiE and who have evolved as big as TiE throughout the world now, in 14 countries, 57 plus chapters, I think it goes to the very founding of TiE and the core principles with which this was founded. So the founding fathers of TiE have done an amazing job of instilling the real values for people like me to come. So one year I would come and work in a different team, for example, operations, and we learn exactly how to execute a conference for 4,000 people. So 200 plus volunteers, etc. A couple of years down, I would move to TiE 50 and understand how we can create a new brand in TiE, which is TiE 50, which is huge now, because the winners have created 200 billion plus value across the board. The passion is because there's no other organization that inculcates the spirit of entrepreneurship the way we do it. And as you see, we have 100 plus volunteers today. It's all about camaraderie. It's how about network, is how we connect with each other, how we learn and get mentored or mentor other people. So you name anybody worth his name, they are somehow or the other directly or indirectly connected with TiE, and that's why it's so huge. And that's one of the fundamental reasons why people like myself come here every year to volunteer, to dedicate. And in the end, we receive so much back as well.
Media Lounge is about creating a hub that brings that information about the conference, about the speakers, the attendees, entrepreneurial stories of the attendees from one space to the globe.
Indus Entrepreneurs TiE was founded in 1992 in Silicon Valley by a group of successful entrepreneurs, corporate executives, and senior professionals with roots in the Indus region. There are currently 13,000 members, including over 2,500 charter members in 61 chapters across 17 countries.
So TiEcon has been around for 20 years. This is the 20th year that we're having a TiEcon conference. We always have wonderful content. And my role as the chair for sales and marketing is to make sure that all the messages around TiEcon are propagated around the industry so people know what's happening at the conference. This year we're expecting a little over 3,000 people at the conference. Our numbers have been growing steadily, and so we are expecting more than 3,000. Mentor Connect is a new program here at TiE, and at TiEcon, we have Mentor Connect lunches on both the days. What's special about Mentor Connect is that entrepreneurs get to meet with leading luminaries and successful entrepreneurs in a small setting. So imagine all the questions you have as an entrepreneur, and you'd be able to ask these successful people in a small setting, just sitting around a table. This year at Mentor Connect, we have some amazing names who have signed up to be mentors. Vinod Khosla, Sabir Bhatia, B.V. Jagdish, Anand Rajaram. There's a whole bunch of very important people that are coming to TiEcon to be mentors. And this is a once-in-a-year opportunity where you'll have all of them in a room and you'll be able to talk to them in a small setting.
As I was saying, I'm the chair of Media Lounge. That's something we've actually never done before. Media Lounge is about creating a hub that brings that information about the conference, about the speakers, the attendees, entrepreneurial stories of the attendees from one space to the globe. Our goal is to spread the airways like fire with the same inspiration and innovation from the speakers themselves and the wonderful stories from our attendees and entrepreneurs coming to this conference. So we hope to work with amazing partners like yourself and others to be there with us, take those stories and snippets, and just flood the gateways either through the TV, through social media, through online TV, any which way possible, including traditional media press. So our goal is really to spread the message of entrepreneurship, innovation, and TiE from the Media Lounge. It's an amazing organization, TiE, and it's an amazing conference, being that it's fully staffed, designed, executed by a bunch of volunteers. People like me who like to create and be surrounded by others that love to put on a great program and a conference that's about innovation and entrepreneurship.
And I think finally, having heard and seen all this, coming together of the top VCs, top corporate captains, professionals, entrepreneurs to produce this world-class quality event, I think it becomes incumbent upon all of us to extend our invitation to all of you who are watching us to come and see what it takes to build this great conference, a world-class event. So please make sure, put this on your calendar. It's TiEcon 2013, May 17th and 18th.
If you have any ambitions of being an entrepreneur, or if you just want to meet people, or if you just want to establish connections for your dreams in the future, TiEcon 2013 is the place to be.
See you at TiEcon 2013.
Look forward to seeing you at TiEcon 2013.
Come to TiEcon 2013.
Be there at TiEcon 2013.
I look forward to seeing you at TiEcon 2013.
We're going to have an exciting conference this year. Come to TiEcon 2013.
We'll see you all at TiEcon 2013.
TiE is holding one of its premier events, TiEcon, the top 10 largest entrepreneurship conferences around the world. The event is on May 17th and May 18th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. And I'm standing right here at the Santa Clara Convention Center, and the center is actually across the street from TiE's office, headquartered in Silicon Valley. Now, you've seen the making of TiEcon 2013. I hope to see you there.